booties for black girl nerds.
Thank you, sir. We meet again. Happy belated birthday. Is March a magical month for you? We got Moon Night, got your birthday earlier in the month. Is this a magical month for you?
SNL, right before my
SNL?
birthday. It's a pretty good month, I gotta say. It might be it's a very magical March this year.
Okay, well, we're going to play three. Everybody playing the lotto today. Make sure there's a three somewhere in there. When you have a character like this, we've got Stephen Grant, we've got Marc Spector, we got Moonlight. When you prepare yourself, these are very different people played by the same person. So are they three roles to you in your mind? What is that movement to bring them each to life and have their own identities?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I mean, when I did my research and deep dive into dissociative identity disorder and the way that it feels to discover that there's other identities, alters living inside of you, the truth is that those are separate beings. They are separate, fully formed individuals that the mind has created in order to survive trauma. And so that was a key that, okay, I got to treat these as two completely different characters that have nothing to do with each other, at least at first, because the journey of the show is integration. And that is the journey of DID, of finding out you have it, digging into your past, digging into your trauma, coming to terms with the abuse that was suffered, learning to have the alters speak to each other and integrating. Like that is how someone survives. And so that was our template for this story as well. So it really was just a wild opportunity to talk about something very real and difficult and complicated and use the language of an MCU show to do it.
Mm-hmm. It's really meaningful. There are people who are suffering from that who probably find comfort in Marvel and this storytelling, and it's wonderful to be able to shed a light on that for these people, kind of help erase that stigma, because it will do a lot of things for people. There is a real direct pipeline between Marvel characters and museums. Do you have an affinity for me? I feel like I'm always going to end up at some point in a museum when I get to know a Marvel character. Do you have that same kind of affinity for museums and relics and all those things?
Big time. I mean, just, you walk in these places, just your imagination explodes. Also, it's like, it's just so astounding when you see something that's like, this was, 20,000 years old. You're like, how does that thing exist? And how is it here? This is from space, this media, it's just the imagination, the way that it captures my imagination whenever I go to these places. It's just astounding.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, when you are a part of some of the biggest projects that have miraculous fandoms that live on and on from this and Spider-Man and just all the things, do you have a collection of your own relics, your own museum at your home? Do you keep a little something from each thing that you work on? Because I bet your collection is bananas if you do.
I do. I always try to keep a little something. I keep some costume pieces. I keep little bits and pieces. So I certainly do.
Well, if you ever want to show us, we want to see. I know
give you a little tour. Okay.
A little tour. Well, I thank you, sir. Have a wonderful series. I know fans are going to be crazy about it, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much. Lovely to speak with you.
Take care.
Better shake your booties for black girl nerds. Better shake your booties for black girl nerds.